Your thoughts are the architects of your world. What you believe about yourself right now, in this very moment, is the blueprint for who you will become tomorrow. This isn't just a feel-good phrase, it's a powerful truth. Let me tell you the story of a man who was once a beggar. A man who discovered that the greatest treasure he could ever possess was hidden within his own mind. Picture this: a bustling city street filled with the sounds of life. Yet for one man, it was a world of silence and invisibility. His name was Ravi. He sat on the cold pavement, his home nothing more than a thin blanket against the concrete. He had no money, no family to call his own. His entire existence revolved around the clink of a few coins dropping into his empty bowl. Every day was a repeat of the last. People would hurry past, their eyes averted, pretending he wasn't there. Few would toss a coin, a gesture of pity, but never one of respect. And in the quiet moments, Ravi's thoughts echoed his reality. I am poor. I am helpless. This is my fate. This is all I will ever be. Because he believed this with every fiber of his being, his life remained trapped in that very loop. He was a prisoner of his own mind. One sweltering afternoon, seeking shade, Ravi noticed a wise old man sitting in a nearby park, speaking to a small group of attentive children. Ravi couldn't hear every word, but a few phrases drifted over and struck him like lightning. The old man said, "Your thoughts create your reality. If you think like a beggar, you will always live like a beggar. But if you begin to think like a person of value, you will attract value into your life." Ravi sat frozen, the words swirling in his mind. He had never considered this before. He had always seen himself as a victim of circumstance, not the creator of it. A profound realization dawned on him. For years, he had been thinking like a beggar, and his life was a perfect reflection of those thoughts. Something deep inside him, a long-forgotten spark of hope, began to stir. That night, as the city slept, Ravi sat under a blanket of stars, his mind more alive than it had been in years. He spoke to himself, not in his usual defeated whisper, but with a newfound determination. If I keep thinking I'm poor, I will die poor. That's a guarantee. But what if? What if I start thinking differently? What if I believe I can create, I can contribute, I can earn respect? Maybe, just maybe, I can become that person. It was a tiny shift. A flicker of light in the darkness, but it was enough. From that day on, he began a new practice. He didn't have money, but he had time and will. He started waking up early, not just to beg, but to clean the small space around him. He straightened his clothes, he began to look people in the eye, not with a plea, but with a simple nod. He started offering to help others with small tasks, without asking for anything in return. He'd spend hours at the library, not reading complex books, but just observing people, learning how they interacted, how they carried themselves. Slowly, imperceptibly at first, he began to feel a change. He wasn't richer in his pocket, not yet, but he was becoming richer in his mind. But thinking differently, he soon realized, was only the first step. Thoughts without action are just dreams. Ravi knew he needed to build a bridge from his new mindset to a new reality. He noticed a local shopkeeper who was always overwhelmed during the morning rush. One day, Ravi walked up and offered to help sweep the entrance and organize the stock for free. The shopkeeper, skeptical at first, was surprised by Ravi's diligence. Soon, Ravi was learning simple skills: how to count change, how to manage inventory, how to serve customers with a smile. The people in the neighborhood began to see him differently. He wasn't just Ravi the beggar anymore. He was Ravi the helpful young man who worked at the corner store. Every small action, every new skill learned, was like a brick being laid on a new foundation. And each brick reinforced his new core belief: I am capable. I am valuable. I can change my own life. Months turned into a year. The change was no longer just internal. It was visible to everyone. With the small wages he earned and saved meticulously, Ravi bought a small cart and started his own tea stall. His first customers were the shopkeepers and neighbors who had witnessed his journey. They came not out of pity, but out of respect for his hard work and his warm, genuine smile. Word spread. His tea stall became a small hub of community. The man who once sat on the pavement with an empty bowl now stood proudly, serving others, earning his own living, and inspiring those around him. He had transformed his entire world, not by finding a lottery ticket, but by changing the one thing he had complete control over: what he believed about himself. So, let me ask you, what do you believe about yourself today? Your mindset is the key that unlocks every door. If you think small, your world will remain small. But if you think like a champion, if you believe in your own value, you will start taking the actions that create victory. It doesn't matter where you are starting from. Doesn't matter what your past looks like. Your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions today are the raw materials for the life you will live tomorrow. Change your thinking. Change your life. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiration.